Can a backup battery really replace a petrol or diesel generator? Well, my answer is yes. So I live on the side of a field in the middle of a lake district in the north of England. We're really rural. We get a lot of power cuts, we have to solve our own problems. I needed something that would keep me online. I work remotely 100% of the time. I need to keep my Starlink router running and my laptop. If I'm not online, I'm not earning, basically. So after a few sort of really bad experiences, I decided to invest in something to try and help. I thought about petrol and diesel generators. When I looked into them, they're pretty expensive. They're at least as expensive as this. You have to keep changing the oil and keeping fresh fuel, and they're very, very noisy. So I looked a bit more widely, and I decided backup batteries were probably the way forward. Now I've chosen the Anker C1000. There's a lot of different ones out there. All I'll say is you get what you pay for. There are cheaper ones than this, but I'm very happy with this one. As you can see, I've just set it up now just to show you how you can use it. It's running this air fryer, absolutely no trouble at all. I'll be making myself a nice cup of tea in a minute to go with my burger and chips that I'm cooking. The air fryer is drawing about 1173 watts. This can run up to 2,400 watts peak, 1,800 watts continuous. Its capacity is 1 kilowatt hour, roughly, very roughly. So in other words, it will run a 1 kilowatt electric fire for an hour or a 100 watt light bulb for 10 hours. It'll be about 80 or 90% of that due to inverter losses, but it's a good rule of thumb. I've used it in anger 6 times. Most recently, we had a 7-hour power cut during the week, about 4 weeks ago. It was a nice sunny day. I hooked it up to this 190 watt solar panel, which I got for free. I finished the day on 85% power. As I say, that was running my laptop and my router, no trouble at all. If it was the winter and I was looking to run the fridge freezer on it, I'd probably just have to drive it down the road to my wife's work and charge it up there. It will recharge very, very quickly, up to 1,300 watts, which is ace. That'll probably take it about an hour or so. It comes with an app, so you can control the recharge time and various other settings. But yeah, I'm really pleased with it. Let's have a closer look. Burger and chips cooking nicely. They've been going for a few minutes. I don't know if you can see that against the glare. So it was on 100% when I started. We're now down to 79%. We've got 160 watts of power incoming from the solar panel. And as I said, it's 1173 going out. It says it would run that for 0.7 hours. Okay, so this is a bit of a silly example, but it just kind of shows you what's possible. So other features, you'll never see it in this bright sunshine, but it's got an LED light, which will do SOS mode if you hold the button down. I thought that'd be a bit of a gimmick, but in actual fact, I have used it a few times. It's got a 12-volt output. I use that quite a bit for my compressor for pumping up tyres. Saves you sort of trailing it back to a cigarette lighter in the car and running the car battery down. These 2 USB sockets, that one will deliver 100 watts, that one's 30 watts. Very, very good for running a laptop or something like that. If you're going to be running a laptop off it, plug it into one of those. It'll be more efficient than running it off the AC. A couple of USB-A's there. That button there allows you to connect it to your phone. This is the main power on-off button. When the device is on, that just wakes the display up again so you can see what's happening. 4 AC outlets. You switch them on and off via that button there. And there's a little reset pin there, which hopefully you won't ever need. If we were in the house, we'd be running it off of the AC there. That's the reset lockout button for if you've overcooked it, which I have done. I was running a table saw off it recently and a bit of wood got stuck. So you would just press that to reset it. Here's the DC input. Okay, let you have a proper look at that. You can run that off of your car battery if you want, if you're a sort of RV user, or maybe using it for that sort of setup. Or for me, I've got it plugged into this solar panel. That's nice. It's heavy, it's chunky, but I appreciate these handles very much. There we go. That says my dinner's ready. So I'm going to boil a kettle now. There we go. Now the kettle's drawing 850 watts. It says it would do that for a whole hour. Have a nice burger and chips. Lovely, lovely. My kettle's just boiling. It's only a 1 kilowatt kettle because a 3 kilowatt kettle would be too much for this. Most home kettles tend to be 3 kilowatts. That's a special sort of travel kettle, a bit lower power. I got it off Amazon for 15 quid. This will be the first cup of tea I've actually had of it, so I'll let you know how that is. This burger and chips is delicious. They just taste so much nicer outside, don't they? I'm going to set this up just to show you it in use. Would I do this in real life? Yeah, I think I absolutely would. Make a really nice picnic out of this. You'd set it up a bit differently. Probably have all this sort of in the tailgate of your car or in your van. But yeah, very happy with that. The time it took me to eat my burger, this little kettle's boiled. So let's see how we get on. Nice cup of tea. Let's see what happens if you try and overcook it, just to demonstrate what that looks like. So this is a Ninja air fryer. It's got 2 drawers, as you can see. So we'll switch it back on. And we'll put that one on. That's at 200 degrees. Okay, so that, as you can see, is drawing 1,196 watts, 160 coming in off the solar still. This Anker can deliver up to 2,400 watts peak, so we're pretty nearly there. So I'll switch this kettle back on. I think that will probably cause it to lock out. Yeah, kettle's on. 20,070 watts. There's a lot of whirring, I don't know if you can hear that. 20,047 watts, 2047 watts. It ain't gonna like this. 2047 watts, it sounds like a jet engine taking off. It's gonna lock me out any second. 2046 watts. That wasn't enough of a test, so just to show you what happens, I'll put the second chamber of the air fryer on now. So I'll let you watch that while I do this. Okay, 2 chambers gone on. 2415, 2392. Well, surprised. Okay, well, let's boil the kettle again. That's it. It's saying no. No more. It's switched off the AC. Fair enough, like. I think I just heard a very faint click. Let's see if it'll talk to us again. Okay, yeah, kettle's back on. 850 watts, much more respectable. You can cope with that all day long. So yeah, there you go. Nice and safe, well designed. We wouldn't want it catching fire or anything like that. Can't complain about that at all. If you were just sort of using them one at a time, you'd be absolutely fine. So we finished that experiment on 66%. We started on 100%. So not bad at all. Lunch for up to 2 people, 2 cups of tea. Happy days. That'll probably recharge in 2.4 hours with this rate of sunshine. So if you want a campsite, that'll be all right, wouldn't it? So I left it alone for a couple of hours in the sunshine. It's back to 100%. It's been a really fun experiment. I've had fun today. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Check out my website, roberttwentyman.co.uk. I do reviews of camping equipment, home technology. Just done one of our air source heat pump, another one of our Starlink system. I write about my kayaking trips where I go wild camping in Scotland, amongst other places. Do subscribe to the channel. I'll be making a lot more content like this soon, hopefully. I'd love to know if you've got any questions, if you're wondering whether something like this might work for you, or if you've got any stories of your own about how you've been using your tech, let me know. The other important thing is I'm going to put links for Amazon UK so you can get a look on there, read the reviews, learn more about this exact model. I'll also put a link on for the solar cable. I'll put one on for the kettle that you saw me using earlier, and the air fryer. I'm afraid I can't put one on for this because it didn't cost me anything. It was left over from my mate's building project. You can get a solar panel very similar to this one inexpensively, less than 100 quid on eBay or Facebook Marketplace. Great, thanks very much for watching.